Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Fiction Shop. I'm David Fulmer, and this is the last chronologically in the segments we've done, and I call it Etcetera because it's just some additional items, some matters and issues and potential problems that I want you to be aware of, whether you're writing fiction, nonfiction, long form, book length, or something short. All these lessons and problems to be solved all apply. So, to begin, let's talk about editing. Books and stories and articles are not written, they're rewritten. They're edited and rewritten. And that's for you to be able to get the most out of the work. It's very few people can sit down and write something that doesn't need any correction, any reworking, etc. And that's not just for grammar and punctuation. It's for, all usage of grammar. It's for the rhythm and flow of a piece and moving things around. So, what does that require? Well, number one, it requires one of these, a red pen. My personal preference is red because it stands out so well, but you might prefer something else to do your editing, and one of the thin points to get in between the lines. And that's another reason when we did a page format and you saw that it was double spaced, and that's so you can do your edits, write in your edits between the lines. So, this is a page of mine that's lightly edited, and you see all the red on it. And these are corrections, things that I wanted to do differently, things I wanted to move around. Here's another one right here. Oop, come here, you. And I couldn't find any, but I have pages that just look like were bled all over. So. In doing your editing, going back to the very first lesson, you've written this with your writer's mind, now you're coming back to it with your red pen and your editor's mind. So editing is really important, and it can make the difference if you have an idea about taking something to market. Whoever you're sending it to, whether it's an editor or an agent, is going to want your pages to be clean, and going to want to see that you care enough to do the work, to do the editing, to fix things that are wrong, to get your punctuation right. Just keep in mind that a lot of agents and editors, a lot of agents, for instance, are former editors and editors, really care deeply about the mechanics of writing, of our language. And so you want to be aware of grammar rules and get those right. And if you're not clued on those, find a book or find someone who can help you with that. Because nothing turns an agent or an editor off as quickly as starting to read something and see that the grammar, the punctuation is all wrong. That'll get you, and that'll land you in the trash right away. Okay. Something else that has come up time and again in my classes are questions about point of view, POV, between characters. So, and especially how you switch from one to the other when you have two characters, and I've got a tip for you. POV, point of view, is the story being told from the viewpoint of a particular character, right? What's going on is being told from that character's viewpoint, and it can be their thoughts and their impressions of what's going on. So, but you have two characters and you want to get both of those. So, in point of view, the way you can do that is to have something neutral in between. And what that means is, say two characters, a man and a woman, are sitting at a table in a cafe, and what's going on there, the scene starts out from the man's point of view, and but then you want to switch over to the woman's point of view as you're reacting. Well, how do you do that? You put something neutral in between. So this guy's talking, he's going through his thing, and then a waiter appears at the table, or a train passes outside, something neutral, and when it picks up again, you can be in the other character's point of view. That gives writers a lot of problems, and what you do not want to do is switch from one to the other without any kind of a transition whatsoever. It's just too abrupt, and it kind of throws your readers off. So that's point of view. So now, we're going to talk about mistakes. Common mistakes. The most common mistakes that writers make. And we've already talked about some of them beforehand. So I have two lists that I put up. One is something that I just kind of collected from different places, from other writers and other editors, of the things that really drive them nuts or cause them to turn something down. One of them is, we just talked about grammar and punctuation, knowing those rules. The other is something that is basically called dead writing with dead words. Okay, and there are certain words that are just kind of lay there words. They really don't do anything for anybody, and you need to find some other words to use. And what are they? They are be, go, have, get, and there's probably a couple others. But just think about this. If you can't just keep saying went, he went to the door, he went to the window, she went into the next room. You need to find because it's not descriptive at all. You're telling, not showing. So if you say she crossed, she crossed to the door, hesitating with every step. Well, that gives you a visual. It gives your reader a visual, rather than just saying she went to the door. You understand? So when you have these dead words, and you saw the list, when you have those dead words, find another way to say it. Find a show word, something that appeals to the senses, because again, you're creating a solution, you're creating a picture. Okay. Now I'm going to put a set of rules up from Elmore Leonard. Yeah, this guy right here. And he repeats some of these same things. So we already talked about ly words. You're going to hear that again and see that again. You're going to see on the list ises and isms, like prioritize and fatalism. These again are not show words; these are tell words, and you want to avoid them. By the way, the ing ly words, ing ly, surprisingly. Okay, it just doesn't work. It doesn't have any power. It doesn't have any visual sense. It doesn't resonate with your readers. So you want to avoid that list. And again, you'll see, or if you go to the website at www.davidfulmer.com, you will see. You will go to the fiction shop tab, and you will see these different items that we put up throughout, all the different graphics and lists and documents and so forth that we've talked about, that then you can refer to, you can print them out, use them for your own. That's absolutely fine. So those are just some of the additional issues and problems that you're going to encounter as a writer. Now, I do want to say that, as I have before, that I'm certainly willing to answer technical questions or about the work that you're doing. I cannot edit or read anyone's work, because if I did it for one person, I'd have to do it for everybody. But I will answer questions, and some of those questions I will post, or maybe I'll do another video session like this where I talk about some of those questions. But definitely, I will post them on a page on my website. And you will be able to go and see how I answered some of those questions. And I will be happy to answer yours as well. Now, with that in mind, the final thing is, I'm not the world's greatest expert like Professor Irwin Corey. Or maybe I am like Professor Irwin Corey. But who knew nothing. This is just my take, and it's from my experience, being a writer, first a journalist, and then later a fiction writer. This is just I see what works for me. There are other people, other writers that will give you different advice, maybe conflicting advice. This is mine. I hope that it helps you. I hope that if you have a story to tell, this will help you tell that story in a more interesting, evocative, and impressive way. But most of all, I hope that you will be well and take care of yourself and stay out of trouble. So, please visit the website, www.davidfulmer.com. Send me your questions, and I will see you at another time. Thank you.